December 31st, 1944. This was no silent New Year's Eve, but a hell's cape of steel and fire. Second Lieutenant Glenn Rojon and co-pilot William Leake were flying the B-17, the Little Skipper, toward Hamburg, Germany, on a mission to flatten oil refineries. The operation was a carnage from the start. German flak was so thick that B-17s were raining down. In the chaos, they witnessed a horrifying sight. Fool's Russian was struck head-on, colliding with Cramp's Tramps and slicing the second bomber in two. Although 6 crew members miraculously parachuted out, death had become a visible companion. After Rojon gave the command to drop bombs, the formation turned back toward the sea. But the real enemy arrived next. A swarm of German defenders, led by lightning-fast Me-262 jets, along with Bf-109s and FW-190s. The American bombers were savaged. Faithful Forever was shot down, but the pilot managed to save his entire crew. After the P-51 fighter support arrived and drove the Germans off, Rojon and the remnants of his formation thought they were safe. But flying toward the coast, a second wave of German fighters, from Bremen and Oldenburg, struck amid heavy turbulence that was already tearing the formation apart. The situation turned fatal when the 9 Lives, the lead plane, took a direct hit to the cockpit, instantly killing both pilots, McNabb and Vaughn. The pilotless aircraft, with the dead men slumped on the column, continued to fly on a slight upward trajectory. Rojon quickly maneuvered the Little Skipper to fill the gap, but moments later, the inevitable happened. The rogue 9 Lives slammed into the belly of Rojon's The Little Skipper. The 2 planes crunched together, merging 2 flying fortresses into a single massive, uncontrollable, and twisted object. Holy mother of, we're riding another fort. Rojon and Leake exclaimed in shock as the 9 Lives pierced the skipper's aluminum skin. The systems were working, but they were losing altitude control, and all attempts to shake the other plane loose were futile. Immediately, a personal tragedy unfolded. Staff Sergeant Joe Russo, the ball turret gun on the skipper, was completely trapped as his turret was clamped into the twisted fuselage of the 9 Lives. From inside, the crew heard Russo reciting his fading Hail Marys over the intercom, a moment so agonizing that Leake removed his helmet, granting Russo the privacy for his final prayers. Engine number 1 on the 9 Lives was ablaze, with the fire spreading rapidly. Rojon knew that a crash into the sea meant certain death. In an extraordinary display of airmanship, Rojon and Leake had to brace their feet against the instrument panel, using sheer muscle to control the massive 8-engine wreck, slowly turning it back toward land. Finally, they succeeded. As they neared the coast, the fire engulfed the left wing, and the .50 caliber machine gun ammunition began cooking off, spraying bullets all around them. Rojon ordered the crew to bail out to the tail door, the only way out, despite having to pass through the relentless flames. 3 crewmen tried one last time to free Russo, but failed. They reluctantly jumped, leaving their brave comrade behind. On the ground, German artillery crews were so stunned they held their fire. Rojon knew Leake had to jump, but Leake refused. "I'm staying, Glenn." Leake knew Rojon couldn't control the behemoth alone. Eventually, the planes crashed into land. The 9 Lives disintegrated, vaulting the skipper upward before it belly flopped to earth. Incredible silence fell. The 2 pilots looked at each other. They were alive. Leake crawled out, searching for a smoke, only to be stopped by a German soldier who gestured wildly at the gasoline pouring on the ground. "You idiot! You'll set us all on fire." Thanks to Rojon and Leake's tenacity, 6 crew members survived from the skipper and 4 from the 9 Lives, all becoming prisoners of war. Rojan, ever humble about his distinguished flying cross, always maintained that he owed his life to Leek's defiance. In all fairness to my co-pilot, he's the reason I am alive today. Comment and share. The moment Leek removed his helmet for Russo's final prayer is arguably the most poignant detail. What are your thoughts on Leek's decision to stay? Comment below and share your reaction to this incredible act of courage. If you are moved by Russo's sacrifice and Leek's bravery, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel for more untold stories of aviation history. Share this video to honor these courageous servicemen of the war.